And we're back. Once again, this is Dominate the Day, God's Way, hosted by SaDon Long, and I am SaDon Long. Now, for the last 5 weeks, we've been talking about the steps of change. And they were, first you had to make the decision, then you needed your identity to be right, you needed your vision right, then you need the right mindset and the right strategy. But I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Those 5 steps are really the steps of my life. That's really the basis of how I got here. And I'm going to walk you back and show you how they apply to me. Well, maybe about 6 years ago, I'm sitting in a hospital bed, legs swollen, blood sugar high, trying to figure out how I got here. And as I thought about it, I've also thought about where I was in my life, not just in the hospital bed, but how I got here. How did I get to this point where I was stressed out and overeating and my health was deteriorating? And what I realized is that I was working a job where I was doing really well and I was really talented, but they didn't really see me in the way that I saw myself. You know, I could remember talking to my direct report about being promoted to a job that I felt like I'd earned, and the person that he had to go to came back and asked, was I serious? Wow. So they didn't really see me like that. To be quite honest, they were just happy with me being the entertainment, being the happy fat guy, being the life of the party, so to speak, and making money for them. So as I'm laying in that bed, and I'm probably at the time probably about 380 pounds, I'm like, how am I going to get out of this? And I prayed about it, and this is what God gave me. You know, hey, dominate. Didn't really understand it at the time, didn't know what to do with it. Matter of fact, tried to run away from it. But I couldn't, because I was in a place where I ain't had nowhere to go, and all I had was time to think. So that's where step 1 comes in. Now, shortly after getting out of the hospital, I made a decision that I couldn't live like this anymore, and I need to know how to change, and I need to know how to get out of this place that I was in, because even though I was laughing and joking and life of the party, I was stressed out and living below where I was meant to be. And if you're living below where you're meant to be, that ain't where God intends you to be. So I first made the decision. And then the next step was I had to see myself differently. I had to stop seeing myself through who other people wanted me to be, who my mother raised me to be, and start seeing myself as how God raised me. You know, how God wanted me to be. He made me in his image. He said I was the head, not the tail, the lender and not the borrower. He had given me dominion. So instead of seeing myself as a child of God, I saw myself as a man of God. I saw myself as a friend of God, a partner in the ministry who was supposed to go out and do great things. Because you can't be the head and you're not operating at a high level. You can't be the lender if you're not able to generate income. So with that being said, I changed how I saw myself, which changed my vision. So now, instead of trying to be who somebody else called me to be or please other people or keep this so-called good job, I started trying to figure out how to do what God had called me to do, how to align what my skills and talents were with what God wanted. So that's where the vision came from. So then I had the vision of, okay, how can I be impactful with my skills? What do? I coach, I teach, I train. So I started learning how to perfect what I do, which turned into having the right mindset, because it's not easy to leave everything that you've known your whole life. It's not easy to start moving in a new direction. Most of us just pacify and numb ourselves with Xanax and bottles of wine and overeating and TV and sleep. But all that stuff does, man, is it deteriorates your body. So I get the hard part, which is trying to leave Egypt. And most of us, if we would go back to Egypt. But God was smart with the children of Israel. He put a sea between them and their old life. Now, he didn't put a sea between me and my old life, but he definitely put me in a position where I had no choice, because they weren't going to promote me. I wasn't going to get better just praying about it. So I actually had to get in the gym. You know, I actually had to find a new way, because that way was no longer available to me. You know, it wasn't going to happen in that land. So I had to leave, forced me to leave, pushed me out. So now I got the mindset that says, okay, I need to forever be a student and a master at the same time. perfecting what I already know and learning something new. And then the last part of that is the part that most of us really don't have. Because even if we got the right mindset, even if we know who we're supposed to be, most of us too proud to admit we ain't got the tools. You know, the person I am right now came through work and effort and learning and figuring out the right strategies and figuring out what works. But most of us, we don't want to humble ourselves and say, hey man, can you help me? Can you teach me? Can you show me? See, that's what humbling yourself is really about, just admitting that you don't know. So I got in the gym, and I got in the gym with people who was getting results. You know, I started having situations where people would teach me little things to make my life better. And guess what? My life got better. You know, that's what the show is all about. Talking to people who not only teach you guys, but teach me. You know, having people on the show each and every week to tell me how they overcame some of the same hurdles that I overcame. So not only are they able to help me, they're able to help you too. So that's why I'm here, to tell you my story, to tell you their stories. And each week we bring on people who keep it 100 with you about what happened to them and how they made it from having a great idea to actually having a business, to actually allowing their gift to feed them and make room for them and put them in the presence of great men. And I love the fact that they're honest about it. You know, they tell you that, hey man, it wasn't easy. They tell you that I didn't really want to do it. So that's what we do. And this week, I got another great story from another great person with another great business. She is an awesome woman of God. She is the owner of Stella V Cafe. Allow me to introduce to you guys Chef Virginette Fitz.
Hello, how are you?
How you doing?
Good.
So now you own a cafe, but I don't want to start with the cafe part.
Okay.
I want to start with, how did we even get to the idea of starting a cafe?
I didn't really have that idea. When I started out, I was going to do a food trailer. You know, it was time to leave the job. I wasn't happy in the position. I had been fired from the previous job for the first time ever in life.
Welcome to the club.
And then I went to another job, and just myself in management, I think, just saw life differently. So it was just best for me to move on from that position. And so I was just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So even before that situation, I guess, I'm going to get a food trailer, and I'm going to sell breakfast, and I'll start there and then still go to work. And the pressure just kind of came on at work. So I knew I had to do something else. So it was like, okay, I really need to push this food trailer thing, food trailer versus food truck, because that's what was affordable. And I was taking a business plan writing class at the Hub. And they came to me and a few other students in class saying the cafe across the street is coming available. They want someone in there, you know, and Jackie was like, you should go check it out, Virginette. You should go check it out and see, you know, just look into it. I think that what you want for your business is the same thing you can do with this cafe. It's just a brick and mortar. So with wintertime approaching, it just sounded like, okay, maybe I should, instead of being outside, I could possibly be inside. I went and spoke with Sue, and she was like, yeah, this is what we want. And so that was a Tuesday. I went to see the building on Thursday. The paper for the proposal had to be in by Friday, and I told her I needed to know by Monday whether or not I got it, because I need to put 2 weeks notice in, because they were only allowing, well, they needed it to be open in 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And actually she said something. She was like, you know, well, if you can't do it, you know, I've got other people looking at it. And I was like, did she just say, no, I can't, you know, if I can't? And I was like, So I contacted a friend of mine. We sat and wrote this proposal and turned it in. She called me that evening, and I was like, oh my God. And I died laughing because I was at work. I called my mother. I was like, Mom, they gave me the cafe. And she was like, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. So it wasn't in my plan. So once it was in my lap, then that's when the plan had to, you know, take place. It had to move. So
exactly. So basically, God just kind of pushed you out there.
He did. He really did. Because, you know, in my mind, later on in life, I'll get a cafe. It's got to open and close, something small, you know. But I didn't want it at all. The responsibility of something like that is major. And so, but it was small enough, and I just laughed, and I was like, I almost felt like that was my only option. That was my out. You know, I was like, God, can you show me what I need to do, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time, after I lost my job and had gone to work in Chicago, there was a song, What God Has For Me Is For Me, and I listened to that song just about daily, just to help me through the day and to feel comfortable in whatever was going to occur in my life at that point. And I was like, is this what you're saying? This is what I have for you in this moment? So I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go up with faith and see what happens. So
you opened up. How long you been open?
I have been open almost a year. I opened November 1st of 2016, so November 1st, 2017 will be my 1 year.
Okay. Now, I know we went to see Sue, we talked about the hub, but where actually are you located?
I am located at 5246 Holman Avenue in downtown Hammond, Indiana. Sorry. I'm open Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4, and Fridays, 8 to 3. Soup, salads, and sandwiches. Good
really
pastries.
awesome cookies.
I got cookies and brownies and whatever else I have time to make, I throw in there.
Okay, so this is stuff you're making yourself?
Yes.
From scratch?
From scratch.
So we got some good, real home cooking, not a bunch of stuff in a bag, put in the microwave.
Oh no, I don't have a microwave. I don't have space. No, we heat it to order, or at most, if it's something that needs to stay heated, I may use a crock pot. Currently, I grill Wednesday through Fridays. So I have burgers and grilled chicken until it gets too cold for me to be out there. But yeah, making it from scratch is the fun part. That's what I want to do. That keeps it enjoyable for me. Other than that, it's just a job or a task that I have to do daily. So
how'd you get into cooking in the first place?
So when I was in college for my junior year, I had one more year to graduate, and I realized that I couldn't sleep without cooking something. I used to be addicted to the Food Network.
Okay.
And so I'd lay in bed and I'd say, oh man, I can't go to sleep. I gotta get up. So there was a 24-hour Walmart near me. I'd go to the store, cook, and then I'd be able to go to sleep. It's like the stuff would just bother me, and I realized, oh, this must be what I really want to do, what I'm passionate about. Called my mother, I was like, this is what I want to do. She was like, girl, if you don't hurry up and do something so you can get out of school. So I went ahead and finished my bachelor's a year later, went to culinary school in Louisville, Kentucky, at Jefferson Community College, and it was on from there. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So are you from Louisville, Kentucky?
Yes, I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky. I moved to Illinois in 2009.
Okay.
I'm at the end, November 2009, actually. So, and then lived in Chicago for a little while. I lived in the suburbs, then moved to Chicago, and ended up here in Gary in 2014.
Okay, so you left home, and little did you know, moving here would lead you into a business.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd be back home for that.
Well,
Yeah.
see, what God has for you is for you.
It is for me, right?
Yeah. So what about this really makes your heart sing? Because you can't see this, but when she starts talking about food, she just starts smiling. So what about food makes your heart sing?
I don't know. I remember I was overseas for a little while, and just trying to put it all together. And what I realized is that today I know that I thrive on people. The people around me give me energy. They give me life. And so food brings people together.
Okay.
That's one common ground. We can meet at the table and we can eat and we can talk. And so I don't know. It brings people together. It's a conversation piece all on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me happy. I don't know. I love food.
I can tell.
Yeah, I don't eat to survive. I eat because I enjoy it.
Amen.
For the experience. So.
Absolutely. So you love people. Your gift has made room for you. That's the good part. So what's the part of being an entrepreneur that we don't necessarily see?
Paperwork. I'm used to being in the kitchen. I can do that.
Okay.
But having to do the cooking, be at the cafe, and also keep up with the paperwork. I'll just be honest. I suck at time management and organization. I am to a certain extent organized, and so. But owning a business, you need to be on all of those, on top of all of those. And so, again, that's where, I said to you earlier how God has just placed people that are resources for me. They help me get through what I'm doing. I'm not doing this business by myself. My name's on the paper. Financially, people support me. Just doing the day-to-day task. Friends have stepped in and really helped me, get organized, do paperwork, just sit and do it. And so they're my accountability. So, but the paperwork that, the marketing, all those things that I normally don't have to do behind a kitchen wall,
Right.
Having to do the business aspect of it.
So it's not just being talented in the kitchen.
Oh, no.
Okay. Now, I know you said that you were taking classes at the Hub, and I know that you've also taken classes, with a friend of the program,
Yes,
which is Crystal O'Brien.
Crystal O'Brien, yes.
So what made you go out and get those extra skills?
I realized what I lack. For a while, it took me a while to be okay with getting help. I'm a middle child. I do it on home. That's my,
Right.
That's my independent side. And so I realized, people kept saying you can't do it on your own. I know this, but let me do this, let me do that. And finally, I was like, okay, I need the help. I'm going to go get it. And so Damian Smith, he's also with Our Race Movement. He came into the cafe. And he was like, let me hook you up with my girl. She'll, she teaches mastermind classes. And I was like, okay, yeah, great. Send her in there. So I think she came in a few days later and, letting me know that this was something that was going to guide me and help me set goals and figure out what I need to do now and how to go about doing it. I couldn't turn that down because I don't know how to run a business. I continue to say that. Yes, I'm doing it, but I know there's a lot that I need to learn. And the same with the Hub. I was in a business plan writing class because I knew I needed that. And so they offer all kinds of classes, and I'm probably going to be in classes 3 days a week coming up, but I just needed the help. And so either I don't have it and try to pay people to give me everything that I need, but as a new business owner, that's not possible
Pay
for
everybody.
me. No, so I have to go get what I can, and then it helps offset what I need other people to do, or at least I can help them do what it is I need them to do.
Right. At least know what they're supposed to be doing.
And know it, right. So it's been motivation, helping me set goals, accountability. I'm a second class mastermind student. I didn't fail the first one. I needed more. It keeps me on track with what I need to do. It tells me what I need to do. It's been a guide, So I recommend those classes.
And shout out to Crystal O'Brien. And we talking about you. So how did you figure out how to get out your own way? Because most people, they just too prideful to admit, I don't know what I'm doing.
I was speaking with somebody about the amount of pressure that God can apply to you, just the right amount that he knows will make you do that next thing when you jump. And so he applied the right amount of pressure. It was borderline for me, and then he was like, no. This is what you now I have no choice. And I was at the point where I had to do something else. So with me losing my job, getting fired for the first time, and then having the issues at that current job, I was like, I'll wait till I'm 39 to start messing up my track record, my work record. And so I started getting a little down about it. Like, what am I going to do? As though these people had that much control over my life. I think I forgot who was in control at that point.
Amen.
And so I was like, I got to do it. And so the food trailer was like my out. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this, this, and this. And I think really God was just like, I got something just a little easier for you. Because the food trailer was going to be a lot more challenging than I think this brick and mortar is. Like I said, people have been so helpful. And I don't know that I would have been able to have all that with the food trailer. But yeah, God was like, just stay with me. What I have for you is for you, so I'm going to give it to you, and you're going to take it. And it's not going to fail because I gave it to you. So
Exactly, and I'm going to keep pushing you.
You just got to do the
and
work.
putting people in your path and helping you along the way. And you just keep hustling and making those wonderful cookies.
I am somebody beyond the cookies.
She is somebody beyond the cookies. I just personally happen to love the cookies.
That's okay. That's the only reason I have friends. I understand that.
Because you feed us, exactly.
That's it.
But that's okay. It gets you in the door.
It does. It does.
Exactly. But you're a woman of faith. So how does your faith play a role in all of this business and entrepreneur stuff?
So let me be slightly transparent. I've been in and out.
As we all
of my
have.
faith. So I'll say, although I wasn't as dedicated to my spiritual side as I should be or should have been at the time, I was still just talking to God. I knew that was my only way that I was going to get anywhere. So I just kept listening to God. I had no other. Who else was going to tell me something?
Exactly.
It was kind of like a point of desperation the entire time. Like from the moment I got fired till now, it was like, okay, God, what's next? Because I don't know what to do. Everything I look at, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I'm a self-doubter. So it's like, you have to show me what's going to work. And so I had to trust that. Again, it was that pressure. Let me make you uncomfortable because I don't move unless I'm uncomfortable.
And that's how most of us are. So let's talk about this food now.
Yeah.
So we're not just having cookies over there. What would you recommend somebody come in and get if they came in?
Well, the burgers have done really well this summer. I have this some friends of mine do a hot pepper butter. It's like a sweet hot burger in this brioche bun, and it is just delicious and it melts in your mouth, and it's a flavor like no other. So, you know, I continue to do burgers with various toppings. I try to change it up every week, or people who have their favorites can come in and order whatever. Outside of that, my biggest seller for the summer has been the Kentucky. It's a turkey breast. I make a homemade pimento cheese because I'm from Kentucky, and that's something that, you know, is known to the area as well. That with a Cajun slaw on top gives it a little kick, and, you know, a hoagie bun. It's pretty simple. And then the Asian pulled pork sandwich, Korean barbecue sauce. I don't know, everything's just good. I think just because my heart goes into it, you know, and because some things I don't tell anybody, but I'm like, this doesn't taste that great. And people are like, oh my God, this is so good. I'm like, y'all crazy, but thank you for buying it.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, my Cuban sandwich, it'll be back out soon. I know a lot of people like that, and we're a little frustrated that I took it off the menu, but it'll be back, you know, so hopefully, you know, a few weeks to a month, you know, we'll have it back on the menu.
So we got the Cuban coming back real soon. And what are the hours again?
Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 p.m., and Fridays, 8 to 3 p.m.
Okay, Friday got to get out there a little early.
Yes, please. And I make soups from scratch as well, so, you know, some wintertime, I'll change those up. Each week there's a new soup, so, and I make those from scratch as well, so, you know, I just put my heart into what I do.
And that's what you want, somebody that's put their heart and their foot in it. And she has done both. So you're on social media, how do they follow you?
You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Stella V Cafe. And also I have a website, stellavcafe@gmail.com.
Spell it for the people.
It's Stella, STELLA, V.IE, Stella V Cafe.
Okay, so how'd you come up with that name?
Okay, so long story short, it's a nickname that my best friend's mother gave me. Based off the movie How Stella Got Her Groove Back. I had a crush on her cousin, so, you know, It's not you if you think it's you. Anyway, so so they started calling me that, and when it came to choosing names, I have a zillion nicknames, and I like the way Stella sounded. V.I.E. is life in French, c'est la vie, that's life. Stella with an R is stellar, it's star, it's a star life. So I just put a play on words, and it's Stella life, it's a Stella life. And the period behind the V is because my name is Virginette, so just the whole play on words, Stella V Cafe.
Now that is awesome. So if you had one thing that you thought everybody out there needed to know, what would it be?
About me?
About you, about your business, about the journey of being an entrepreneur, any of the above. I mean, what's one thing you think helps?
Just getting in good circles. Make sure you keep good people, positive people, people who are going somewhere, who can motivate you, because it is going to be a challenge. Whatever it is that you are called to do and you step into that, it is always going to be a challenge, and you have to keep people who are, you know, on the same type of course around you. And pay attention to your surroundings. God will give you everything that you need, and you have to trust that.
Amen. And if you get fired, it ain't the end.
Oh, it is not the end all. That person has no control, and they will keep trying to stop you, and they have no control.
Exactly. And I've been fired a couple times myself, so trust me, you can recover, you can come back. Don't let it depress you, and don't let it deter you from what God has for you, because sometimes, realistically, you won't let the job go, so they got to let you go so God can give you what you want.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. I've been wanting to get in touch with you and get you on the show for a while, so I'm glad that we were able to do this.
Yes, me too.
And as always, I will keep stopping through. And what's the address now?
5246 Holman Avenue in downtown Hammond, Indiana.
Shout out to downtown Hammond. Shout out to the crossing, which is right upstairs.
Yes, 11 students.
Exactly. Love them too. So, guys, this has been another Dominate the Day God's Way. Don't forget, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, tune in to New Friendship Baptist Church with Pastor Royce Thompson and the Anointed Voice Choir. On Monday, don't forget to Run with Rand and Kick It with Kim on the Truth Is Ministries at 7. Don't forget me, SaDon Long, SaDon Long, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, And this show will be up on SoundCloud in a couple hours, so you can play it back and listen to it and share it with your friends. Don't forget to support Stella Stella V, because it is good. And you're hiring.
Yes, I am hiring, so you can reach me at stellavcafe@gmail.com or come into the cafe. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't want to forget, if you need a job and you want to work hard and you want to learn from somebody that's great, she is great. I will put my name on it, so make sure you go to her on Facebook or go to our Instagram and figure out how you guys can get in touch. And like I always say, to those who have been given dominion, they were born to dominate, and I'm out.
Dominate the day God's way.
That was it. That's us.
Long, go to SaDon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Be